What's up, disc golfers? Welcome to Back in the Box Disc Golf. My name is Cole, and I'm very excited to bring you today's video. I recently put out a video that included my 10 favorite molds, and I've put a link in the description below so you can check that out if you haven't. No, really, I'll wait. I don't want to spoil the surprise for you, so go ahead and check that out and come back. Okay, now that I won't spoil the surprise for anyone, I wanted to bring you my collection of Discmania Fds. The FD is my favorite disc on the market, and I'll show you why as I talk through the discs in my FD collection. So first, let's talk a little bit about the Discmania FD. The Discmania FD is a 7-speed fairway driver with flight numbers of speed 7, glide 5, turn -1, and fade of 1. So that tells you that the disc should fly straight with a little bit of turn and then come back. So it's a really point and shoot disc, especially for a 7-speed. Now what I love about the FD is that all FDs aren't like that. So some of them, like the C-Line or the Luster in my opinion, are point and shoot, -1, 1, but a lot of them aren't. So we'll get into that, but let's start with my D-Line FDs. So the D-Line FD is the same plastic as DX from Innova, meaning it is firm, inexpensive, and beats in fairly easily. So I have two here. So one, this is the one that's in my bag. It's a spin die, and it's 167 grams, and it is very flippy. I can throw it on a mega hyzer, and it rides and turns, and maybe it fades back if I put enough hyzer on it. It is a very understable disc, and I can't imagine playing around without it. It's so helpful for fairway shots. So if I have bad footing, like on the edge of a fairway, and I can't do a run-up, I can throw this on a standstill and hyzer flip it, and it will still go a long way, which is so important, and I can't imagine, again, using anything else for that slot. So the two D-Line FDs that I have are this one, a spin-dyed D-Line FD at 167 grams. And the second D-Line FD that I have is a 175 gram D-Line FD, and that's my backup in case I lose the spin-dyed one. So the next instability, we get the S-Line FD, and this is a Fairbanks Open 2018. I got it in a trade. I haven't ever been to the Fairbanks Open, but this is the one I bag just because it's beat in perfectly and it's easy to find. It's a bright color and I've thrown it for a while, so I'm really used to it. So these ones I think are the closest to the -1 turn and the 1 fade. I can throw it flat and it rides to the right and then fades back. If I throw it on hyzer, it'll flip to flat and then fade. Or if I throw it on anhyzer, it'll get a big flex line and then come back at the end, which is a really helpful disc to have. And with the D-Line FD, that's most shots for my 7-speed. So I already talked about this Fairbanks Open one, so I have this one. And then for S, I have this Halo Swirly S Black Ink Discs stamp FD. It has a pink elephant on it. It's my wife's favorite FD, I believe, that I have, because she loves elephants, and we have elephants all over the house, and this one is the elephant in my room, so there you go. And then we get to C-Line FDs, and C-Line FDs start out a little bit more stable than the S-Line in my opinion. This Swirly S run is more overstable than that. So I would call this like 7, 5, 0, 2 or 2.5. It's a little bit glidey, but it's still overstable to start. And the next we have is the C-Line. So the C-Lines that I have, this actually is one of my favorites. It is a C-Line FD, 175 grams, double stamped with a Roaming Thunder 2 stamp, which is a CD2. And if you watch the other video, the Roaming Thunder is on my top 10 favorite discs. So this is naturally one of my most favorite discs that I have. It's just gorgeous. The color, the Merlot color is just great. And then next for C-Line, I have a Metal Flake C-Line FD, and these are the most overstable of the C-Line FD. It's going to be pretty close to this swirly S FD for stability, so it's going to have a lot of fade at the end, especially this one being new. And now we get to another favorite of my FD collection, the Luster FD. So Luster plastic is C-Line plastic, so champion plastic, but it also has this shimmery quality to it, and it's very grippy compared to other C-Line. So the first one I have here is a Hypno Huck stamp from Huck Lab, and this one has a great dome. All of these Lusters do, honestly. So these ones fly just like the C-Line, and they beat in very, very nicely, and have a couple really cool beat-in ones here. So the Hypno Huck. Next, I have an Eagle McMahon Crush Boys stamp Luster FD, and all of these are max weight. And this one feels great. I love the stamp on it. It's very cool. Next, I have a stock pink Luster FD. And this one has a big dome on it too. This is a backup for actually the S-Line that I have in my bag now. And then next is one of my other favorite collectors. This is a Luster FD max weight with the original Doombird FD3 stamp on it. So the FD3 had a special run called the Doombird, which is a Simon Lizotte signature disc that was released a couple years ago. And this was in what's called the April Jewels line of discs, meaning for a mystery box a couple years ago, Discmania put the FD3 stamp on FDs. And that's actually most likely where this came from as well, this sort of double stamp idea. Discmania does those for mystery boxes a lot, and I think it's really fun. So those are my Luster FDs. Next, we're gonna go to the Color Glow FD, which I love these. I love Color Glow plastic itself, but the FD runs are very, very special. So first we have the Night Strike 3, which is Nate Perkins' most recent signature disc. There's a Night Strike, a Night Strike 2, and a Night Strike 3. Most of my stack here is Night Strike 3s. I find that they're the most throwable for me, and I could get my hands on them, which is cool. So I have a pink that's been sun-baked with a teal stamp. That one's really cool. I have orange on orange, which is really cool. Orange on copper, I think, technically. I have a blue on blue, which I love this color combination personally. It's one of my favorites. And I actually have another blue on blue, but it's more of a light blue, which is super cool too. So I have these two different color blues with the same stamp. They're money, man. They're so cool. And then I have two more Night Strike 3s. Orange on purple, which is very cool. This one has a big dome to it. And another orange on purple, or orange on magenta, I think, because there's a slight difference in the stamp color. Yeah, this is magenta and this is purple. And then lastly, this was the first FD I ever got. It is a Night Strike 2 FD, and these fly more overstable than the Night Strike 3, and this one has a matte blue stamp, which I very much love. And I especially love that one in a pair with this. So I have the blue on blue, which is just great. The Night Strike 2 isn't in my bag right now, just because the FD2 that I started bagging is very similar, but I prefer the feel of that for forehand. So let's move on to the FD2. While this technically isn't an FD, this mold is based off of the second run FD, which is a very valuable disc. I don't have any. You can get used ones for $80 to $100, and I just haven't been that desperate for that yet, so I haven't gotten one. But the FD2 has been remolded a couple times just to make it fit best with the lineup. So this first one I have is a purple C-Line FD2 that is penned, so it's an older run. And I believe this is the last tool of FD2, and it's just not as overstable as the new FD2, which are called the 3 tool. So I have this purple one. I love the look of the shield stamp. It's great. And now we get to the 3 tool FD2, which I really, really like. So I have the first run 3 tool FD2. This first run plastic is the grippiest sea-line plastic I think I've ever felt. It is just so gummy and sticky, and oh, it is great. This is actually the one I bag, the first run FD2 3-tool. And I have another one here for a backup. Oh, it's such a nice flight. I can throw it backhand, flat, and it will just fade consistently. So it is the reason I don't bag at PD, because my arm speed is not the professional level. So this flies for me like a PD flies for somebody like Colton Montgomery. So I can get a bunch of different flights out of this. I can throw it flat and it'll just fade. I can spike hyzer it with a spike angle, or I can force it over and have it fade back. So it's just a great run of disc, especially that first run. If you can get your hands on those, I would highly recommend it. And then this is the later run of 3-tool FD2. So this one came out after the first runs. These ones are a little less flat, but they still feel really grippy and really good. And I have this as a backup in case I lose my first runs. And I love turquoise. That's about my favorite color, as you can see by every font practically on this channel. Now I'm going to get to the signature Series FD2, the Royal Rage. It's the Leo Purinin signature. So first I have this teal one, and these are all color glow, so they glow in the dark too, and I think the stamp is gorgeous. So this one is a new one that I have with a hollow foil stamp, and I threw this one for a while, but I took it out for the first run just because I liked it a little bit better. This is a pink Royal Rage with a Huck Lab stamp on it that I got from the Huck Lab store in Portland. If you haven't been there, check it out. Jay's a great guy, and it's just so fun to go there and see all these pretty discs. So this run is very flat and very low profile. I don't know what happened between the first run and these. These feel a little deeper in the hand, and I honestly prefer the feel of this one compared to this, but this is a very interesting disc for how low profile and overstable it is. Okay, that is my stack of FDs. Let me try to get them all in view here for you. All right, that is my collection of Discmania FDs. I have a lot of them, but I throw a lot of them. And if you think I have too many, you're wrong. Okay, that is all for today's video. We are getting closer to 250 subscribers, in which I'm giving away a Razor Claw. I'm gonna put a card up this corner, and I'm going to put a link in the description so you can enter that. All you have to do is comment on that post, on that video, and you enter to win the Discmania Razor Claw just by subscribing and commenting. Once we hit 250, I'm going to randomly pick a comment and that person wins. So go ahead and get in on that if you haven't. Now, I'm not sure when this video is going to come out. It's going to be sometime around New Year's. I pre-recorded this before Christmas just because, as somebody who works a church job professionally, I am very busy this time of year. So this will come out in a couple weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, who knows. But I just wanted to wish all of you a happy 2021, and hopefully we can leave 2020 behind. Anyway, I hope you all get to go play disc golf soon. That is what this is all about. We love this game, and that's why we watch videos, that's why we make videos. So have a great 2021, and may it be filled with lots of disc golf. Okay, bye-bye everybody.